the channel. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Today we're back on the North Texas Beltline, and it's come to that point in time where we have to start talking about operations in Kingston Yard. This is definitely a favorite for operations. I enjoy spending a lot of time here in Kingston Yard. It's fortunate that I enjoy it, because if I didn't enjoy it, it would be quite the chore. There's a lot to do here. So all in all, in Kingston Yard, there are, I think, 4 or 5 trains that originate here. There are at least 3 trains, possibly 4 actually. Could be 4, yeah. So 3 or 4 trains that interact with Kingston Yard, even though they don't originate here. And then there are a couple trains that do actually terminate here. So there is a lot of activity. We do have 2 yard crews, one on the west side and one on the east side. And for this video, we're going to be focusing exclusively on some of the operations on the west side of Kingston Yard. These operations are specifically after you run the 2 manifest trains. So what we're doing right now is we're going to go pick up the leftovers from those 2 manifest trains, and we're going to start breaking those down. And then we have some other organization and car movements we need to do to get ready for the interchange trains, which are going to be the ones that we run next. So all in all, Kingston Yard serves a bunch of purposes, but it's really got 3 RD tracks that are served exclusively by the manifest trains. And then it has 7 yard tracks over here closer to the edge of the table to the left here. And so here in a second, we're going to start talking about in detail what all those tracks serve, and kind of which trains are built on them and which ones are used for storage. All right, so here we go. As we pull this cutout, we'll have some time here to talk about it. The track we're on right now is track 0. Track 0 is the official run-through track. We're never going to leave a car here. We have to keep this track open. Immediately to the right is track 1 and track 2. Those are also storage tracks. I did go in later into JMRI and make those where they stay open, just to allow for like temporary storage of cars from when trains come in and terminate that don't have to be broken down just yet. That way, you know, it just kind of frees up some space, because JMRI only ever put a couple of cars there, and it kind of got annoying, so I made some changes. Track 3 here on the west side is for the McGuire local to the ethanol plant. 4 is, man, I forget what track 4 was for. I'll have to look at my records. I know that track 6 is for the KCS interchange. I think 4 on the west side was originally for the Santa Fe interchange, but I know that I also changed that. So here we are in the lead, pulling back. We can only do about 15 or 16 cars at a time before we run out of space. So here in just a second, we're going to cut our cars out and then keep on switching. But on the east side of Kingston Yard, there are 2 tracks that are currently used now. No, 3 tracks. Yeah, 3 tracks. We use 3 tracks. Sorry, it's been a little while since I had to work Kingston Yard. I'm a little fuzzy. I did look at my notes earlier, I promise. So on the east side, we have the 2 Greenville locals are built. So, you know, we'll set cars out on those tracks, and they will hold there until those local trains are ready to depart. And then the yard crew on the east side there will come out and build those trains. And then we also have, now I know for a fact that we do hold cars for the Santa Fe interchange over on the east side on track 5, which is where that green box car just went. So here on the west side, we kick cars. We kick them especially hard if they're going to be going all the way down to the east end, like that green box car was. And here what you're going to see are some seemingly random movements, but basically we have to get the cars from the west side of track 3 out of the way so we can shove some cars down to the east side of track 3. This is a feature that I later changed. I got tired of having to move cars out of the way to access the eastbound track, the east side track. So I changed it in JMRI to use a different track altogether, so that we don't have these overlapping car setouts on the east and west side. So here we are grabbing the last cut, and we're going to kick these as well. I would say, in my opinion, I think most of the cars that come into Kingston Yard from the manifest typically go to the KCS and the Santa Fe interchange trains. Both of those trains can pull about 30 cars each. So since the manifest trains come in and drop about anywhere from 20 to 25 cars, more than likely those cars are going to go on to the interchanges. All right, we're going to go ahead now and get our cars off of track 3 and get those out of the way so that we can shove those 4 hoppers on track 2 all the way down to the east side. Now, there are some bowl tracks in the background. We will talk about those in a later episode. We're going to have to come back to Kingston Yard. So after you run the manifest, you have to work Kingston Yard. And then after you work the interchange trains, and then in preparation for all the trains running to Paris, you have to work Kingston Yard for all of those. So very, very busy. Fortunately, JMRI and the switch list always tells me where everything needs to go. All right, here we are putting those on track 4 temporarily, get them out of the way. And now we're ready to go ahead and kick these, I think actually, yeah, just 4. We're going to kick 4 cars down. So we're going to leave the red hopper there. Then we're going to kick those 4 cars all the way down to the other end on the east side. All right, now we're going to pull those cars off track 4 and put them back on track 3. So every one of those cars is headed to the McGuire ethanol mill whenever we're ready to run that local. Ethanol mill takes in corn, ships out spent grain, or corn, obviously, like feedstock basically, and also ships out CO2 in the short tankers and ethanol in the larger tankers. Now, I do know in real life CO2 is far too what's the word? It's not dense enough. It's not dense enough to be shipped in a rail car. I do know that in real life. I know that CO2 is from ethanol mills. It's usually shipped in a pipeline. But hey, it's a model railroad. You can do what you want. So that's what we do. I did realize at the end of track 3 there, I had a few cars that were misplaced. So that's why we're making this kind of seemingly odd or extra move here, is we're just kind of getting some of these cars off of track 3 over onto track 5 where they actually go. I do make mistakes from time to time, and when I catch them later, I always make sure to get those errors fixed. Even though people will tell you can't make mistakes when using pre-printed switch lists from JMRI, the truth is you can. There are ways to fix your mistakes, to get around it, and to make things work. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and put these cars up on track 3. Just wanted to say thanks again for joining. Thanks for staying in tune with the channel, and be on the lookout for more videos in the future. So make sure to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And just know that I always appreciate you guys hanging out and viewing the channel. Talk to you guys soon.